Hello, this is Yorkey Demos. I thought, as I've been going on about this game for a long time, I'll show you guys a little bit of what it's about. I think it's currently on Steam for about £22, something like that, but I'm really enjoying it. I thought I'd at least give you a bit of a taster and show you what I enjoy about it, so you can go and buy it. Okay, anyway, this is my setup. At the moment I've played about 3 or 4 hours. I'm not particularly good at it, so that's why we've got a lot of these people over here that are struggling. One here. So I started off with basically the basics back here up by the sea. As you can see, I've got the sea that runs all the way down here, and we've got a lot of expansion down here. So here we go. So I've got 5 bedrooms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a double bed because I've got a couple that are married. I'll come back to that in a minute. We've got the kitchen here. Just the kitchen. This is the butcher table, so any animals we kill, people that come in here, butcher the animals, normally put it back in here in the fridge, and then they'll come and cook it. And it looks like someone started off by cooking one on there and disappeared for whatever reason. Anyway, so you can basically set the bills here. So you just click on any bill. If you go to cook simple meal, you'll get this come up here. What I set it to do is do it forever. So any meat we have, if there's a cook available, he'll come and do it. And when I say there's a cook available, we've got a work schedule here, and all these ticks are what they can do. So, for instance, this lady here, she'll do all this. I don't know what handle is. Right, there you go. And she's got 4. You see, you hover over it, shows you what her skill is for cooking. So she won't do any hunting, construction, repairing. She won't do any of that things that aren't ticked. But what you can also do is you can manual the priorities, and you can say, look, I want you to clean. So she's got 1 set. So she'll basically, if there's cleaning to be doing, she'll do it. Which she's slacking on here because I can see that she's missed bits here anyway already. So that's the work tab. This is obviously just a corridor, just these rooms. It was just I just built this square bit to start with. I don't know why there's some alpha beaver meat there. Never mind. So this is the fridge. So I put 2 doors in because it doesn't let the cold out. You can see it's down here. If you look when I hover over it, it says -3 in there, which that means anything. If I click on a meal, yeah, it won't spoil. So anything left outside, anything out here, anything like that, won't. It's normally quite warm out there, so it'll spoil after so many days. So things only last a certain time. So anyway, you have to put this in. You can basically regulate the heat. So you can see at the bottom there. You can say what temperature you want it to be. This is our hospital. Don't know why it's got a line for that. That is the power, but don't know why it's so visible. So I've got 4 hospital beds. Not very good. I mean, that one's pretty awful. This one's alright. This one's alright, and this one's alright. I'll come back to the people in a minute when I've gone through stuff. Over this side, we've got 3 prisons. I think it was 4 prisons, but someone joined us. We recruited them from being a prisoner. So they now, I've made theirs into a bedroom. Each bedroom has a light and a heater, so they can keep warm in the winter, which we think we currently, 4th of winter we are. We've got all the prison cells full at the minute, 'cause we've just overcome a raid. So this guy here is obviously took a lot of damage, so we've patched him up, stuck him in his prison, and what we'll do now is you get the option to decide what you want to do. You can friendly chat, no interaction, chat and recruit, which is what I tend to do for a little bit and see if I can get them on my side. You release them, or you can execute them. And then up here you decide what medicine they get. At the moment he's not really getting anything. I don't want to waste my medicine on him. And he does get food. I don't know if I've got these set to, there we go, so if I change that to that, he's obviously recently come. I think he's been here a while. A little bit worried that his door's open, but I think that's because this little champ's leaving. Over this side we've got a room for basically stuff like, we've got a basic manager desk, which that's actually a mod. You get a manager window here, but I haven't started using it because I haven't researched the technology yet, so I didn't realise you needed technology to use it, but I'll put the bench in anyway. This is the research bench, which you come down here, and basically you get to select all these things to research. At the moment I'm researching gun turrets because I want some security around the outside. These are all the things to research. Again, only recently started, so got a few things like this, electricity and bits and pieces. And basically what you do there is you tell them what to search, and then someone who's got research will come and get it. Like for instance this guy, his character screen, his researching is 9, so it'll go up as he researches, so he's sort of one you want to set to go and do that in his spare time, and you can prioritise it if you want to do that. I think this is an add-on again. This is a prosthetics workbench, and you can basically get them to do, depending on what you've got, it will come up showing you, so you can get wooden foot and stuff like that, and arms and legs. I made an eye patch because I have, or did have, yeah, I think it's this guy here. He's had his right eye torn out. Now it seems a little odd, but I have to, with the eye patch, which I've got one over here, you have to then put him into, give him an operation, so you go to add bill, eye patch, but I've got no medicine at the moment, so I can't do that. But so you say give it right eye, and then I don't know why he's got to have an operation to put an eye patch on, but there you go. So normally you do that with, like, if they're missing a leg and can't walk, you can give them a peg legs, and they'll walk around, but they'll be slower. As you can see here, this guy here he's got a lot of problems, but he's been with us a while. He did die in one of my saves, so he's lucky to be here. And then they've got the tailor bench as well, so again it's the same, you can set what you want. I'm making parkas just to keep them warm in the winter, but I don't know if they're wearing them or not. You can tell people to wear stuff, but they'll wear whatever they think's best otherwise. Here's some guest rooms. Again, this is a mod, but you get people to come. It's hospitality mod, so people will come along and you get visitors a lot, and they'll stay here, and then you can make your reputation with them better. Don't know what you get from that, but I'm just sort of playing around with stuff at the moment. This is something I researched recently. So production, I think it is. Yeah, so I've just recently got this high-tech research bench. So I put the blueprints in, waiting for them to make it. We don't have the resource at the moment because there's been a lot going on, so they haven't had a chance to go and mine and whatnot. But that's what that'll be, and I'll probably put something else in over here. Here is our farm. Again, it's not working because it's winter, but I had some potato plants that are sort of half grown. You can see the 37% grown, but they're not growing at all because it's too cold. That's all that. Here is my heel roots, so this, again, they're not growing, which is quite frustrating, so I need medicine, but they'll make them into basically herbal medicine, and then they'll store them up here. This here, you probably didn't even notice this. This is a still horse bin. They chuck horse hooves at them, what you want to call them, and that's just something they do for fun. Put a couple of sandbags in here for when we do get attacked. Which we can see they're a bit damaged. I've had a lot of fights around here, which is why that's damaged. Seems to be a bit of cover I used. That was here when I originally started, so I sort of built around it. These are my batteries. And basically these are the solar panels, so if I can go to the power for you, hang on. So click on this, you can see the power structure that you've got. So you basically, all you do is hook them up. It's quite simple. So you've got lights, they will go to the lights, to the cookers and stuff like that. If you've got one already going across, little lines will come out and you join them for you. So I've got all this going to this, and I've also got some wind turbines down here, which I'm not sure if they're working that well, but these wind turbines again come back to here, and they'll go into the batteries. Still waiting on one battery there. That again, we're looking for the resources, but haven't had time. Here is my indoor plant growing. I had a lot of messing around with this to try and get it working. I realised all I need to do is put some heaters in, and then they seem happy enough. They're growing slowly, but they're growing. Rice, got some strawberries, got some heel roots, and some potatoes. And I want to put a few more in here. And this here is basically going to be the expansion of this, but I've got to be careful so I don't let the heat out, because they die if you let the heat out. So I've got to sort of get this done, then close it up, then take this wall off, and hopefully we'll be good. This is more growing strawberries, corn, rice, and cotton. These won't grow to the summer, but they're there. They sort of start. I don't know why they don't die off, but yeah, they're there. So that's my main base. Oh, we've got like a dumping pile over here where anything I just told them to stick stuff in here. It's just, again, with this is like a stockpile. I basically told it only allowed food, corpses, kind of, and a few resources. Basically, that's medicine, I think. So So I'll go through a few of what's happening with certain people. We've mined all this out, which is where we've got a lot of the resources from. This I'm a bit concerned about. I think this may contain something strange, aliens, some kind of bug life, anyway, something like that. So I'm being very wary. I'm sort of slowly digging into it. Down here we've got graves. It tells you who's in the grave. So I've had a lot of, not so many of my people have died, but raiders, so they all go in there. I don't know what's going on with that. A bit weird. So we should have a guy. Yeah, Jude. He lives down here. He is a very weird guy. He's really good at shooting and melee. I captured him from a raider. He was an assassin that came to try and, well, I assume assassinate people. And he doesn't really do an awful lot. So he's just basically goes out hunting. There's a bear up there that I'm a bit worried about. But so he's killing these beavers because there was a thing about beavers, and they basically started taking over the place. And unfortunately, they do eat all the trees if you don't kill them. So I've sent him out to kill them. He's killed most of them. He's still working on it. As you can see, there was actually some meat inside that the beaver meat here from before. These two, yeah, again I showed you he's from the raid we recently had. Don't have any medicine. This could be a problem. Should be okay as long as he doesn't get an infection. Same with her. Yeah, so she took a shot to the heart, which nice. These guys I'm not so worried about. They may make it, they may not. If they do, great, we'll keep them. We'll try and get them on our team. This guy is a nightmare. He's got a bruised right arm, probably because he's been fighting. He basically fights with everyone. All he's done is moan, and considering we dropped in and we were stranded on this island, he's moaned that his bedroom wasn't big enough. He didn't like sharing a bedroom, his bedroom was too cold. Everything's been a problem for him, and he just keeps starting fights. For some reason he's got this shield that he's stolen from someone, so he has this little shield. They have to penetrate that before they can do any damage to him. But he starts fights all the time, and it's just, and he goes mad all the time, so he loses his mind and he'll just start running around and beating people up, and it's just a real pain. And it's especially, I think the last raid I had, we had them all lined up on here, waiting for people to come in, and he started fighting the one next to him, so that was good. So they both had to go to hospital, so we were 2 men down before we'd even started. Yeah, so obviously I showed you the gear tab there, which is quite nice, and he's got a survival rifle. I've got a few people that got nice rifles, like this guy's got assault rifle, which is quite nice. They've got some armoured vest. No, most of this stuff I've actually got off other raiders when we kill them. Like these guys, you see, you can strip them, and now they haven't been stripped yet, but they will be, because they're all dead there, those three. You get lots of different weapons, like, again, this guy's a survival rifle, this guy's got a frag grenade, right, sort of launcher, pistol, a club there as well. And they drop all their stuff, so this stuff around them is stuff they've dropped when they died. Yeah, so he's been a real pain, and I mean, imagine if I click on needs, he's upset. Yeah, he's pretty upset, he's hungry, he's not impressed, no impressive bedroom, I mean, whatever. Look at the environment, in pain, he's in the darkness, just because it's dark. I mean, I don't know what I can do about that. I suppose I can put lights out, and I should do really, but they're quite expensive. Anyway, he's, anyway, because he went mad and got all his feelings out, he's happy again. So he's been a real pain, really difficult. This guy here, it was actually a strange one, because he's married to, yeah, so it's his wife, is this one here. But they when I started, I only had these three. So he was actually in a different clan, and he raided us. So I got a message saying that he was raiding us, and he came in, and we didn't kill him, luckily. We took him down, and we put him in prison, and I think she easily talked him over to come and work with us. So he now works with us, which is quite a cool little story, and they both sleep in this bed together, because one of his things is all he wanted to do was sleep with her. No, it's not one of his problems anymore, because obviously that's what he does. So yeah, so he was recruited, and that's quite cool. They were sort of they were married but split up, but we somehow brought them back together. So they now sleep in this little room, which I kind of wish they had windows, but yeah, he's alright. He's not great at bits, because I don't know why. One of the tabs, I can't seem to scroll down there, but I think that's managing for one of the mods that I put on. He's a bit trigger happy. But you get all this kind of stuff, like it tells you what their childhood were. He was a drifter when he got older, and that affects all the stats. You see, cooking and construction, artistic -4, and then he gets quite jealous quite quickly, which could be a problem, because this guy keeps hitting on her, which is quite frustrating. And to start with, he got really upset because she kept turning him down, so he ended up being quite upset a lot. Yeah, this guy, he's been with me from the start. Really cool guy, really good at shooting, so he's been I always give him the best weapons. He's a bit lazy, but yeah, he was a military engineer, so he knows his stuff. A mechanoid nerd. So yeah, he's been my main fighter for a long time until Jude joined us. We did have a pet, but in the last fight he was sort of stood here-ish, and he walked across, and while the fight was over, there was one guy who was fleeing, and I think it was, don't know if it was her, but someone shot him straight in the head. Here he is. Yeah, his head shot off. So, I mean, it's still in the picture, but apparently he hasn't got a head. He had his right paw missing for ages, but he was actually quite good because he could haul. I trained him up, and he could haul blocks, so he could go out and pick all this stuff up on his own, and he'd also rescue people if they were downed, and he'd take them back. So I trained him all that, and actually he could actually fight, but he got shot by my own people. So I don't know why they've put him in here. I did ask him, tried to bury him, but they kept saying there wasn't any graves assigned to him. But now I can't seem to assign a grave to him because he's dead. So we may eat him, I guess. I don't know. Don't know what the plan is with that. So yeah, at the minute I'm just sort of gonna. Oh, there's another dead guy down here. So I need all this stuff hauled and wait for this. I'll run it on a bit. Another one there. So yeah, it was quite a big raid. We'll play a little bit just to give you an idea how the game runs. So he's basically coming in here to feed Blackburn because he's probably quite hungry, starving in fact. And this guy's got an infection, you see. So I really need medicine. I haven't got medicine. And I think I can't remember. Well, I did actually have a prisoner that came in, and his girlfriend turned up to try and save him. I think we may have killed his girlfriend. I can't remember. But we did also have some visitors that came, a big group of visitors with animals and all sorts that were here for trading, and one of them had a fight on the way out. So they had a big fight, and one of them was lying on the ground. So I nicked all his stuff, and as they were leaving, I grabbed him and put him in prison. But that upset their clan, so they now attack us quite regularly. Right, we've got a severe which is black, but I'm not expecting him to survive, to be honest. He's got this infection I was talking about in his left leg, so I would imagine that he will unfortunately die, and I could let him back out. To be honest, I think he's the one I captured that started all the problems. We've got oh, what a surprise. So yeah, of course, so he's just wandering around. It tells you up here as well, but you've got all these different bits at the bottom, so you can do orders. So I can basically tell them to go and chop wood, and they'll go and chop that. You can do the harvest the plants. You don't really need to, they'll do that automatically. All these different bits. Blueprints is actually, I haven't used it yet. I think you can copy a building and say, right, I want the same building here. Production. So again, you don't get everything until you research it, so it won't all show up. So you've got all sorts of things like sculpture. I don't think I've got one of those. I think I could put one in there, and they'll make sculptures, and they makes the place look better. Blah blah blah. So that's all the stuff there. Power. Could do some fuel generators. Don't tend to like myself because you need a lot of wood for them. Wow, not really, but anyway. Sun lamp, as you can see, it's 25 steel. I could put some sun lamps. I don't really know how they work. I need one of these soon, then you can start trading and get this comms console. I've only just researched them. That means I can talk to people above me. There's people going over, and I can trade with them as they go past. More floors was a mod. I don't really. This was a bit of a odd thing, unless there's some in here as well. I think there is, because I don't recognise a lot of these floors from before. Ship. Down here, which is the idea of the game is to get off the planet, but I've never done that in all the time I've been playing. I played a lot of it in the alpha and beta. Actually, still I think in beta right now, maybe, or possibly alpha, but I'd be surprised if it is. It's not out currently because we're in early access. Here's your zones. So the zones basically are these things here, which I've put down, and you can basically tell them exactly how you want to store things. Do you want certain items in there? Do you want chunks of things, body part? It really doesn't bother me what goes in that, to be honest, because that's literally a dumping ground. Structure, so you got your walls, you can select what kind. Wooden wall, silver wall, a bit odd, wooden wall, same with the doors. And I think you can upgrade all this, get better doors and stuff like automatic doors and bits and pieces later on, but I haven't done a lot of that. Furniture you get quite a lot of, and again this all upgrades later on, and you can change this, like wooden bed, a jade bed. It's bizarre. It's only because I've now got jade that it's now telling me I can do that. Did have animal sleeping spot, which was up there, but it's a waste of time now, it's dead. Security, you can put some traps in. I don't know what that is. but apparently it's excellent for cover for gunfire. Probably should put some in. But I'm trying to get to gun turrets so that when I get gun turrets, they'll go down here and they'll be powered and they'll cover the front because they can't really get in any other way apart from here. Which I may put one on here, I guess. There's the sandbags I've been using. Floors I showed you. Joy, got one of those. The thing is, steel's not rare, but it's you have to basically dig all this out. Like I think a lot of this is steel, yeah, compact steel. So once they've dug all that out, we'll have a bit more steel and we can perhaps build them some stuff like the chess table or the billiards table. Again, I need room for it. I could put it outside, but I think that, well, yeah, there you go. Temperature, I haven't got a campfire. I quite like the idea of a campfire, but I haven't got one. Heater, I've got them in rooms. Coolers you use for the fridges. Vents, it looks like you use them to sort of be able to regulate temperature between two rooms, which I kind of thought that's pretty cool, but I haven't done that yet. Work you've seen. Mad you've seen. Medical you've seen. Restrict, you can basically tell people going to go to certain areas or do certain things. Assign, don't really ever use this tab, perhaps should. You assign them certain outfits and stuff, but it's quite nice because obviously you might want a different outfit in the winter if it's really cold, especially if you live in somewhere it is a cold area. This is not too bad. Animals, we don't have any. Factions, again, this is the people I nicked the guy from. That was a bit of a mistake. They really liked me until I did that. World, so it shows I'm like here, but this is I don't know how this all works, but I guess other people live around here. I don't know if you can go anywhere else, actually, I have no idea. History, and blah blah blah, so that's quite interesting bits and pieces. Statistics come up here, so yeah, I've played for 4 hours. Research, obviously I showed you that, and then of course the menu is just signing out bits and pieces. So yeah, colony needs treatment. There's not much we can do about that. I mean, he's an idiot anyway, so sod him. So obviously you have your speed, so you go fast. I tend to play it, so we go, I tend to play at that sort of speed, or this sort of speed, because once you get to this time in the game, I tend to slow it down for... Who hasn't got their weapon? Is it him? Yeah, oh, he's having a mental breakdown. Sometimes they take their clothes off when they have a mental breakdown as well. Don't ask me why, but they do. So they've gone to bed. I imagine the rest will go to bed. You can still hear the gunfire from someone out hunting. Jude, I think it is. So he's just going to get some food. He's got back into his hospital bed. Yep, he's going to go and eat. And they like that, because if they don't have a table, they get upset. That's one of the things they seem to get upset about. Oh, for God, goodness sake. So anyway, this is what I'm talking about. He starts having a fight. I really do without that. Yeah, well, no one to help you, mate, if you're going to keep fighting. So there we go, we're playing the horseshoes, look. Dink. So you can see it's cold in these guys' rooms. Maybe I should get some heaters in. How much steel have I got? And this soil resources, of course, I didn't mention this before, but yeah, the soil resources down here. I don't have any steel because I haven't been mining. So I don't know where he's off to. It's interesting to find out. You can click on and show him. I'm just going to go cut some trees down. Anyway, I hope that helped, and I look forward to hearing if you guys play this game. Cheers.